Yeah, the life of an adventure superstar stuff. Footpeg Diaries has been invited to the launch of the new Suzuki DL1050DE. So I'm on my way to Tambo International. Early Friday morning. And I'm on my own. Because funny, as the light turns pale, Fonny isn't here anymore. It's not dead. It's not dead. It's his leg is still broken. It's a quiet day at the airport, quiet morning, still dark, and I'm without Funny.
Suzuki is flying me to Durban for the day, and I have no idea where we're going to ride. Oh, the horror. Just following someone else is totally new to me. It's tough if you're used to being the route planner. I listened to the briefing now, but they don't tell us where to jump out when we're stuck in the sand. I think that's what that part is at the bottom. Put your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye. This plane doesn't do sand. On flights like these, I'm usually the guy glued to the window, staring out with a hypnotized, idiotic grin at all the lovely dirt tracks crisscrossing the hills below like veins on a female bodybuilder's thighs. The only thing that can tear me away from that is a snack box. And of course, a map. Any map. The telltale symptom of an adventure addict. Lekker, yeah. Lekker. How's it? Pierre, nice to meet you, Clint.
My name's Lawrence. I'm from Auto Trader, and I'm here to ride on a new motorcycle.
How's it, Chris?
What's up?
Bro, long time no see. Sorry, I'm filming you. It is what it is. How's it going? How's your week been?
Yeah, good. We've had some fantastic riding.
Great. Yes, certainly. With everyone properly introduced, I have my first look at the new bike in the flesh. In yellow, black, and blue. Visually, it seems like the same approach with slight variations on the theme. The engine and sprockets have been re-geared for lower down torque, spinning a tubeless 17-inch rear and, oddly enough, a tubed 21-inch front wheel. Center stand, bash plate and scaffold-like crash bars come as standard equipment on the new V-strom, with a quick shifter also thrown into the deal. The screen is adjustable, theoretically, if you don't mind taking out your Allen key set, and there's a new display and LED lighting all around. The V-strom also has a 20-litre fuel tank, fully adjustable suspension in the front, and preload adjustable suspension at the back. Chris sits us down for today's route briefing, and it seems that it's going to be a mostly tarred route through densely populated countryside. It's clear that these demo bikes have already been worked hard by other members of the media during the week, and it looks like some dirty real-life testing ahead. But I totally lose focus on Chris's briefing when a familiar distraction is placed right in front of me. Muffins. The struggle is real. Right, so this is the baby I've been designated. Let's see what happens.
Start a procedure, first impressions, quite nice, lovely. It's well, it sits actually sits rather lovely. I love the slightly wider seat. I know people have issues with wider seats, but it's nice and comfy, the wider seat. Lots of different settings as well, as per usual, as all bikes do have nowadays. Traction control 1. A, B, and C it's literally throttle sensitivity. So you have A, B, and C throttle sensitivity, and then ABS will stay on 111. There are a couple of levels when it comes to traction control traction control. Gravel off 1, 2 and 3. We'll go 1. We'll go A, B or C. Let's go B in the middle. And ABS is 1 going up where? We'll see. We'll leave ABS as is. Let's see what happens. So the pegs immediately, obviously rubber on the pegs. Feel the rubber. Thing with the with this bike is it's always been a short-ish kind of bike. So I mean, we packed a couple of them in the big panel van, and you could fit 3, maybe even 4 in a panel van easily. The big Vito panel van. And we were flabbergasted by the fact that they are so short. The previous ones we used in the Western Cape for the Cape Venture, if you remember that. And these are slightly longer. The DE, which is the Adventure, is slightly longer. The rake has been stretched out a little bit in the front because the suspension is a little taller, because it's the 21-inch front wheel, so the rake is slightly more to the front, which increases the trail, obviously. And then the swing arm is also slightly longer than the previous model. It's a little sprightly. That works. And that is that's the long and the short of the suspension. There's something to be said for a shorter bike. Maneuverability, etc., is lovely on tar. You want it to be slightly edgy on the tar, you know, because you can really squeeze it into little corners and gaps at speed. But when it comes to the gravel, the longer the wheelbase, the more the stability. It's a bit more of a feel. You know the arse is coming around. You know, the warning is a little longer. The engine's come quite a long way. It's been around for almost 2 decades, a little more maybe even. Remember the TL1050DE, the monster? You remember that old bike, road bike? Proper V-twin bike. Now yeah, this is that engine. It is the engine the TL came with. Obviously a little modern adjustments here and there. A little couple of changes. But this is the original 1039 engine. 1037 engine, if I'm not mistaken. So the engine has been fine-tuned and honed to something that, if you know Suzuki engineering, that lasts. Are you buying this bike for performance? Are you buying it for the practicality? Are you buying it because it looks retro with a beak and with the rear rails, the grab rails? Is that the reason why you're buying this bike? Are you buying this bike maybe because the price is right? What are you buying this bike for? Are you buying it for adventuring the rough stuff? Because then obviously the quality of the engineering also counts, because you know it's dependable. Are you buying it because you want to go on a Sunday ride with your friends? And you don't want to buy something that's ridiculously expensive? I mean, who has 300,000 Rand nowadays for an adventure bike? Let's just be honest about that. A couple of oaks can do that. But the rest of us, dishing out a quick 300 grand, set you back a bit. The big talking point, obviously, is the fact that there is a tube front on this 21-inch. Now that they're bragging about the 21-inch, because now they've caught up with the rest of the market, Suzuki. But it's still a tubeless rear. Now I know people in Europe are saying, but you know, usually it's the rear that gets the flat, so that's actually quite a good thing. It's not so bad because you can still plug the rear. Well, in Africa, we get flats in the front and the rear. So even the guys at Suzuki are wondering why that is, why they've done that. The rear, the valve for the rear is in the center of the rim. So, as opposed to an 890, for instance, which has an offset valve to the side, the Africa Twin also has an offset valve. BMW, all of that, all the tubeless tires have an offset valve. This one has a valve in the center of the rim. So, if you want to chuck a tube in your rear tire, you can, because you don't have to contort the tube to get it through the offset rim and eventually tear it apart when it gets warmer. So practically, if you're in trouble, and that's the main reason people want to use tube tires, well, but I'd say one of the main reasons, is the fact that if you get a deep tire rip, then you need to put in a tube. If you can't plug it, then you need to stuff a tube in there, and this one you can.
All the schlepping through townships and dodging livestock and territorial taxis eventually pays off when we stop at the Mzinyati Falls. A beautiful sheer drop in the middle of sprawling humanity. But I guess that's the magic of adventure riding. Discovering unexpected beauty and contrasts just over the brow of the next hill.
Right, back again. Lekker hoogie af, goeie nippels. Quite an interesting little stop.
See, and not everyone's used to this. Traction control now, remember, now traction control is still off, riding mode is still number B, and then I redo that now. No, not up, down. No, not down. Up.
The constant struggle with modern day bike electronics. Will it ever end? I somehow doubt it.
I must say, it's a bit of a lag in energy once you open the throttle. Let's go to A. Setting A. Oh. A it is then. Okay. That's much better. More direct throttle. So there is a tendency for the throttle to, it'll be a little over manipulated by the throttle control on BOC if you need really sensitive throttle changes.
I got the gravel settings right just in time as we headed out on a sweeping gravel loop around the Inanda Dam. This massive and relatively new reservoir in the Umgeni River was officially opened in 1989 and supplies drinking water to Durban and surrounds. It also makes for some lovely riding, with dirt roads snaking through the foothills, almost circumnavigating the entire dam. The morning's ride eventually ended with a lunch stop at the Stoker's Arms in the Kloof area in Pinetown for some hearty grub and a cool drink.
Okay, so we're doing what we do, but this is the Suzuki bus. It's like, you know, Suzuki South Africa. It's the bus. Shh, ons geheimpie.
The afternoon ride gave me another opportunity to try out the V-Strom's off-road abilities.
The bars are set a little wider apart, which helps you to maneuver it slightly if you feel like that's what you want to do. If you open up, there's enough power for it to slide around. The engine puts out just a little more than 100 horsepower, and 100 horsepower, in my opinion, is more than ample for or any riding on gravel. You want to be a bit of a hooligan, but I mean, even then, this is enough. It will bring the ass out. You will slide everywhere you want to. Suzuki's always made some of the smoothest quick shifters, and the quick shifter on this bike is very good. Don't know if you want your motorcycle with a bit of a bite, but this bike, I dare say, this bike is very user friendly.
What a picturesque end to the day on the mountain north of the Inanda Dam. Not only on the edge of a cliff, but also on the edge of the road tyre's capabilities in the damp grass.
The 21-inch front wheel makes a massive difference. The fact that we can switch the rear ABS off, massive difference. The traction controls also can switch that off, and then now it's also got the quick shifter.
It's got the quick shifter, yeah.
Especially for the guys coming off DCT that don't know how to use gears.
Ach, loop skate, man. Yeah.
But yeah, quick shifter, fantastic. TFT screen,
Yeah.
cruise control. I think it's a full package. Look, I think for an everyday bike, it's awesome. I mean, if you see what we've done today, we've done gravel, we've done dodgy tar roads, we've done traffic, we've done cows, we've done sheep, we've done dogs, we've done grass, we've done sand, we've done everything.
Yeah.
And it just does everything so perfectly.
When you're in front of it and you look in the mirror, the rear view mirror, it's a lovely picture of it. But I think you've got a bike here, and at the price,
259 grand?
259.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's a winner.
Ah man, what a lacquer launch. What a lacquer launch. I suppose it isn't finished until there's a last word, right? Okay, so what's the word? Let's look at it Footpeg style, right? It's supposed to be right for the application. So your question should be, what's the application I'm using this for? For Footpeg, it's not that bad actually, because I don't know what I expected. I expected it to be bad. It isn't. It gets out of town very quickly and easily. Sits to 160 cruise control limited like the Africa Twin to 160, and it stays there without any effort. It's easier to use in the tough stuff because of the 21-inch front wheel. It's a practical bike. It's a user-friendly bike. Would I allow a guest to ride one of these in one of our hectic adventures? I think I would. Because now it can do it. We've had V-stroms in our previous adventure, the Cape Venture with Suzuki, and they worked. But the front wheel was an issue. That's solved now. So, is it a story bike? Now, I believe it really is. I love that smooth engine. I think the only thing that's going to keep this bike back is the previous V-stroms, because everyone thinks that it's that bike, but this isn't. This is a new bike. That's just plain and simple.